to get my family off my back about getting married. I found a girl online and arranged a fake marriage with her. But, at the marriage registry office, the clerk looked at me with undisguised contempt. You're already married and you want to register again? Are you aware that bigamy is a crime? Walking out of the registry office, I stare at the printed marriage certificate in a daze. The girl beside me sighs regretfully. Mr. Kang, if you're already married, why did you pay me to come here? The deposit is non-refundable. With that, she leaves. I stand there, still unable to process what just happened. I've never even held a girl's hand. How could I possibly be married? I look at the printout again. The man in the photo is undeniably me. The woman listed is named Soo Chingwol. She's beautiful, but I have absolutely no idea who she is. I take a photo and send it to a contact with a black profile picture. Find out who she is. The reply comes instantly. On it. Only then do I push the confusion to the back of my mind. I get on my worn-out electric scooter and cruise slowly into a luxury villa district. The moment I park in a corner, I catch the murmur of servants behind me. Who is that? He's really handsome. Shh, don't say that. He's the illegitimate son the master refuses to acknowledge. His mother was the other woman. She showed up heavily pregnant, demanding a confrontation right when the mistress was about to give birth. It ended up with both women delivering on the same day. That woman has no shame. She spent years making excuses to stay in this house. He, at least, knew his place. He moved out in middle school and hasn't been back in years. No idea what brings him back today. I frown and pretend I heard nothing. Inside the living room, my mother Lee Ruyan is waiting at the door. The moment she sees me, she grabs me urgently and pulls me upstairs. Come with me to find your brother first. And you got the marriage certificate, right? I reply flatly. Got it. The bride wasn't who I planned, but technically yes. Good. Remember your place. Soo-fei Shu is your brother's fiancé. A top-tier family like that is completely beyond what an illegitimate child like you could ever hope for. Only your brother deserves someone like her. Those words bring a flash of contempt to my eyes. Soo-fei Shui is the legitimate granddaughter of the Soo family, Haicheng's top dynasty. She pursued me for 4 years in university. Then on graduation day, she ended up with my brother Kang Boda. When Lee Ruyan found out, she demanded I immediately marry someone else, to permanently cut off any possibility between me and Soo-fei Shui. It has always been this way. Whenever my interests and Kang Boda's came into even the slightest conflict, Lee Ruyan would demand I back down without question. Because I am illegitimate. My very existence is the original sin. I was conditioned to believe all of this was simply what I deserved. But I woke up from that long ago. I look at Lee Ruyan with a sardonic smile. We agreed. This is the last time. The fault lies with Lee Ruyan. She clung to the Kang household just to see my father every day. She was the one who wanted to curry favor with Kang Boda. I will not pay for her choices with my own life. This time I'm settling the debt of being born to her, and making a clean break. Lee Ruyan waves me off impatiently. Fine, fine. While we're talking, we arrive at Kang Boda's room. Kang Boda looks up when he sees me. Nanjoo, what brings you here? I'm about to answer, when Lee Ruyan cuts in. Boda, Nanjoo got married today. Kang Boda looks surprised. That fast? Who is she? Better than Feixiu? Lee Ruyan snorts. Impossible. There's no one in all of Haicheng with a better pedigree than Miss Soo. What kind of respectable family would take him? That girl is just some street nobody. He didn't even dare bring her here. Afraid her shabby appearance would offend you. Kang Boda says with a tinge of jealousy. Come on, Nanjoo is good-looking enough. Otherwise, why would Feixiu have chased him for 4 years? What good is looks? With his background, the only women willing to marry him are the kind you'd find anywhere. Miss Soo was just treating him as a toy, nothing more. Only you, Boda, are truly worthy of Miss Soo. I frown. The woman in the photo looks nothing like what Lee Ruyan just described, but I can't be bothered to argue over something so tedious. Just then, Kang Boda finishes fastening his watch. He reaches for his dress shoes but finds his shirt too tight to bend down comfortably. Kang Boda gives a slight smile and looks at me. Lee Ruyan shoves me immediately. Useless, still so oblivious. Your brother can't bend down, go put his shoes on for him. Again. Does Lee Ruyan still think I'm the same ignorant little boy who took every blow without fighting back? I keep my expression blank and let the impatience bleed into my voice. You can put them on for him yourself. Kang Nanjoo, what kind of attitude is that? Think getting married means you've grown too big for your boots? That wife of yours is just a gold digger. You'll be crawling back to the Kang family sooner or later. If you don't stay on good terms with your brother now, the day will come when you and your wife are begging at his feet. The Kang family raised you. The least you can do is work yourself to the bone for them. Before I can respond, my father Kang Wenjong appears in the doorway. He frowns. We have an important guest arriving soon. What is all this noise? Kang Boda says nothing. Lee Ruyan breaks into dramatic weeping. It's this wretched boy. He got his marriage certificate today, and now he has no respect for his own mother. At that, Kang Wenjong's gaze shifts to me. Getting married without letting the family arrange anything. Do you have the certificate? Let me see it. Faced with this stranger's version of fatherly concern, I pause, then pull out the printed copy from my bag. But Lee Ruyan snatches it before he can take it. Let me see the name of this nobody you married. Kang Boda asks curiously, Dad, who's coming? You seem unusually nervous. Kang Wenjong thinks of the arriving guest and immediately straightens with a sense of deep honor. He says the name with barely contained excitement. Soo Chingwol. The moment I hear that name, I freeze. Kang Wenjong sees our blank looks and says proudly, It's normal if you don't know her. Even I have never met her in person. She's quite mysterious. She is Soo Feishu's aunt, only 28 years old, and already the true power behind the Soo family. Li Ruyan gasps. Then isn't she an even better match for Boda? The head of the family outranks any granddaughter. Kang Wenjong snaps. What nonsense are you talking about? Soo Chingwol is already married. I narrow my eyes. If the woman on that certificate really is her, then Soo Chingwol must know something. Li Ruyan looks slightly deflated. Who is her husband? Luckier than Boda, apparently. I look at Kang Wenjong. He shakes his head. No one knows. Apparently neither she nor her husband are the social type. Kang Wenjong frowns. I honestly don't know what brought her here today on such short notice. The Soo family is Haicheng's most powerful dynasty, and the head of the family holds extraordinary standing. The Kang family is upper middle at best. This marriage is already Kang Boda marrying well above his station. Having the head of the Soo family attend Soo Feishui's wedding at all would already be remarkable. For a simple betrothal ceremony, why would she come in person? Li Ruyan declares with certainty. It must be because Boda is so exceptional that the Soo family has taken notice. She shoves the unread printout back into my hands and grabs Kang Boda's hand with barely contained excitement. I allow myself a sardonic smile. She acts more invested than his own mother. The butler appears at the top of the stairs. Sir, the Soo family will be arriving shortly. Kang Wenjong immediately turns and heads downstairs. As he passes me, he says casually, You haven't been back in a long time. Stay for a drink before you go. I nod. I want to stay and see exactly who Soo Chingwol is. In the room, Li Ruyan watches Kang Boda preparing to receive his wealthy bride, with a joy she can barely contain. More than 20 years ago, if Nanjingsu hadn't appeared, she would have been the one to marry Kang Wenjong. She has never forgiven Nanjingsu for that, so she deliberately caused a scene, arranged to give birth the same day as Nanjingsu, and swap the two babies in the hospital. Now her son is finally marrying well, and Nanjingsu will even be expected to prepare a generous wedding gift for him, while Kang Nanjoo, labeled as the illegitimate child, goes off penniless to marry some nobody. Downstairs, I lean lazily against the shadowed wall beside the staircase, eyes fixed on the entrance, waiting for the Soo family to arrive. After some time, Mrs. Kang makes her way down the stairs, supported by a servant. She wears a purple chipao, her frame slightly thin, her entire bearing one of quiet, scholarly grace. The servant whispers, Madam, your health isn't well. Perhaps you should rest upstairs. Mrs. Kang shakes her head through a cough. No, I can't miss such an important day for Boda. I watch her figure descend the stairs, my eyes filled with a warmth that runs deep. It's almost absurd. The person who had every right to hate me most was the only warmth I ever knew in this house. When I was small, Li Ruyan would often forget to feed me. I'd barely learned to walk before I was digging through rubbish bins because I was hungry. One day, Mrs. Kang found me doing this. After that, she quietly left food for me in the garden every single day. She did this for 12 years. Without her kindness, I would likely have starved. Watching her disappear down the corridor, hearing that cough echo back, I frown with worry. Then a commotion stirs at the entrance. The Soo family has arrived. Kang Wenjong and Mrs. Kang go to receive them. After a brief exchange of pleasantries, a whole procession moves inside. I spot Soo Chingwol the moment she enters. She is even more striking, in person than in the photo. As if sensing my gaze, she suddenly looks in my direction. For a moment, our eyes meet. The sharpness in her gaze sends something through me. I want to search her expression for more, but Soo Chingwol pulls her gaze away. That leaves me uncertain. Does she know who I am, or doesn't she? Kang Wenjong smiles warmly. Miss Soo, where is your husband? Didn't he come with you? At those words, I sense Soo Chingwol glance at me again. She replies calmly, he wasn't able to make it. The group moves toward the reception room, chatting as they go. Soo Feishu, who chased me for 4 years, follows behind the elders. In her formal dress, she carries more poise than she did in university. She hasn't noticed me. Distracted and murmuring quietly with Kang Boda, everyone settles in. Soo Chingwol takes the seat of honor and the discussion of the engagement begins. I finally step out from where I've been standing and watch the gathering in the reception room in silence. Then someone yanks my arm. Li Ruyan hisses at me. Kang Nanjoo, what are you still doing here? Don't tell me you still have feelings for Soo Feishu. Let me be clear, she is going to be your sister-in-law. Relax. I have no interest in being the other man. Kang Wenjong asked me to stay for a drink. From the time I was old enough to understand, I have always called him Kang Wenjong, never father. Li Ruyan grits her teeth. That was just politeness. You actually took it seriously? You really don't know your place. Even I can't attend something like this without embarrassing the family. And you think an illegitimate child belongs at that table? Get out of here, now! I frown with impatience and am about to respond, when the corner of my eye catches Soo Chingwol rising from her seat. She gestures at her phone and heads toward the balcony. Must be a call. My eyes sharpen. I throw Li Ruyan a vague acknowledgement, and slip out of the reception room, turning toward the balcony. The moment I get close, she ends the call and turns her cold eyes on me. I stop. Meeting that dangerous look, I feel the corner of my mouth pull up and on impulse call out, Honey. I watch Soo Chingwol closely for any reaction. The cold around her only deepens. She stares at me without the faintest flicker of emotion. Then she turns to leave. I step forward quickly and block her path. Soo Chingwol's brow tightens slightly. Move. You don't recognize me? She looks at me with a detached authority. Should I? Since entering the Kang house, she had sensed an unusual gaze following her. Unlike the fawning, nauseating stare she was used to, this one was open and unashamed. That was why she had looked at me more than once. When she caught me looking, I didn't look away. I just kept watching her, completely unbothered. She had thought perhaps I was different from the men who looked at her with naked greed, but it turned out I was bolder than all of them. walking up and calling her honey right off the bat. Soo Chingwol's expression adds a layer of impatience. Sir, I am married. Please conduct yourself accordingly. I'm thrown. She clearly doesn't know me. Could the registry have made an error? May I ask who your husband is? None of your business. Cold as ever. I take out the printed certificate and hold it in front of her. Miss Soo, that name there should be yours. Soo Chingwol looks at the printout. Her eyes move to the groom's name, Kang Nanjoo. When she looks up again, her tone is dry. Mr. Kang, if you're going to forge documents, at least do it properly. With that, Soo Chingwol bypasses the reception room entirely and strides through the garden toward the car park. I go after her to explain. 2 bodyguards in black step out and block me. I stop and call after her. Miss Soo, the certificate is real. If you don't believe me, check with the registry office. Soo Chingwol doesn't slow down. She gets in the car and leaves without looking back. Kang Boda happens to see me approaching Soo Chingwol, though he can't hear what was said. Seeing Soo Chingwol leave, I get on my scooter and head out after her. Kang Boda immediately asks, "Why did Miss Soo leave? Did someone offend her?" Soo Chingwol's personal assistant smiles. Miss Soo had something urgent to attend to. She sends her apologies. Please do pass the word to your elders. Kang Boda nods politely and sees the assistant out. Kang Wenjong asks worriedly, "Why did Miss Soo leave? Was the hospitality lacking somewhere?" Kang Boda thinks of how distracted Su Feishu had looked today, glancing around as if searching for someone. Then he thinks of my face and his fist tightens. Something shifts in his eyes. I saw Nanjoo bothering Miss Soo. She left quite angry and left a message. What message? Miss Soo said you should keep your household in order. After what Nanjoo did, she wonders whether the Soo family will question our upbringing. Kang Wenjong's face goes iron gray. Meanwhile, I lose Soo Chingwol's car the moment I clear the villa district. While I'm still irritated about it, my phone rings. A woman's voice comes through. Boss, I've got the information on Soo Chingwol. Soo Chingwol is the second daughter of the Soo patriarch, rumored to be ruthless and cold-blooded. She was sent abroad as a child because of it. Everyone assumed the family would pass to the eldest son, Su Feishu's father. No one expected Soo Chingwol to suddenly return last week. Somehow she forced the patriarch to step down and took direct control of Soo Group. I frown. Find her contact details and schedule. I'll go to her. I hang up and rub my temples. This is going to be complicated. Soo Chingwol travels with bodyguards. She won't be easy to reach. I shouldn't have let my mouth run and called her honey. I drove her off. I sigh, start the scooter, and head home at a leisurely pace. Leaving the busy city center behind, I make my way to the urban village on the outskirts. When I left the Kang house in middle school, I had almost nothing, so I rented one of the old units here. I got used to the place and never left. I'm just around the corner from home when an old woman in her 80s or 90s darts out from the roadside. I brake hard. Nearly hit her. I think at first it might be a scam, but something quickly tells me it isn't. The old woman is small and thin but well-dressed. She clearly doesn't come from an ordinary background. Around her neck hangs a tag with a phone number and the words, "If this elderly person is found wandering, please call this number." Dementia, clearly. I wonder whose grandmother this is. I take out my phone and dial the number on the tag. Before it rings, the old woman suddenly grabs my wrist with a firm grip. Clarity flashes in her cloudy eyes. "My granddaughter's husband! You're my granddaughter's husband!" I twitch involuntarily. I've been single for 22 years. And how do I end up with 2 wives? The registry office must be running a wholesale operation today. I find it amusing enough to play along. "Grandma, who is your granddaughter?" The old woman furrows her brow in thought. "My granddaughter, what was her name again?" "Right, it starts with Sue something." The name rises to the surface and vanishes before she can say it. She grows agitated, mouth opening and closing, unable to produce the words. "Take your time, Grandma. It's all right if you can't remember." I give her a reassuring word and dial the number. Not far away, on a nearby street, Soo Chingwol is sitting in a luxury car. Her expression is dark. Her assistant Liu Hua beside her doesn't dare breathe. Liu Hua says carefully, "It was my failure to watch over her properly. I let the old madam wander off." Soo Chingwol says nothing. She radiates cold. Grandma Soo is usually unresponsive most of the time, but today she had a sudden moment of clarity, sent everyone away, and slipped out on her own. Security footage showed she had taken a public bus all the way to the outskirts of the city. The area is run down, with many streets lacking cameras. They've been conducting a street-by-street search. Then Soo Chingwol's phone rings. She answers immediately. A calm male voice comes through. "Hello, your elderly family member is with me." The atmosphere in the car freezes. Everyone moves instantly. One person reaches for a phone to call the police, another starts tracing the signal. Soo Chingwol's eyes go sharp. Her voice drops to ice. "How much do you want?" The voice on the other end is easy and unhurried. "I'm not a kidnapper. I just wanted to let you know the old lady is safe, and that someone should keep a better eye on her." I give the address and hang up. Soo Chingwol's eyes lift slightly. That unhurried voice sounds oddly familiar. 5 minutes later, they reach the location, but the boy who called is nowhere to be seen. Only a police officer stands there with the old woman. Soo Chingwol asks Grandma Soo, "How did you end up here?" The old woman says with a conspiratorial air, "I came to find my granddaughter's husband. He lives nearby." Soo Chingwol pauses. She sighs. "Grandma, there is no husband." "Impossible. I saw him. Heartless boy. Handed me over to the police and left. Now give me your phone." Soo Chingwol hands it over. The old woman copies the recent incoming number from the contacts into her little notebook. Now she has her granddaughter's husband's number. Early the next morning, I get a call from my university supervisor. The moment I walk into Professor Liang's office, I find Kang Boda and Li Ruyan already there. I narrow my eyes. Kang Boda and I both attend Haicheng University, the best in the city. Kang Boda got in with excellent grades. I deliberately scored below my ability so as not to overshadow him and chose the least popular department, energy and power engineering. But 2 years ago, new energy suddenly became the hottest field in the country. Kang Boda immediately transferred departments, and we ended up in the same classes again. Kang Boda being here is one thing, but why is Li Ruyan here? Before I can think further, Professor Liang speaks in a grave tone. Kang Nanjoo, your guaranteed postgraduate placement has been revoked. While I'm still processing that, the professor continues, your mother says your conduct and background are not in keeping with the requirements for postgraduate selection. Is there some misunderstanding between you two? You should apologize to her. You have real potential ahead of you. Don't let a moment of temper cost you your future. Kang Boda sighs first, then says, Professor Liang, Nanjoo's mother only wants what's best for him. He looks at me. You offended Miss Soo. She's made it known she wants you gone from Haicheng. It takes me a moment to realize the Miss Soo he means is Soo Chingwol, but I only exchanged a few words with her, and she didn't seem angry when she left. While I'm still thinking, Kang Boda steps up to me. Kang Nanjoo, this is a plane ticket our father bought for you. He wants you to go abroad and let this blow over. Otherwise, even the Kang family can't protect you. A flicker of contempt crosses my eyes. They just don't want me dragging the Kang name into it. Kang Boda sees me making no move to take the ticket. He produces a bank card and affects sincerity. Are you worried you won't be able to manage abroad? There's 50,000 here. Think of it as my personal contribution to your living expenses. Start with this. If it's not enough, I can give you more from my allowance later. The eldest son of the Kang family, and all he can offer is 50,000? I find that almost funny. Li Ruyan snatches the card from him. Boda, what are you doing? The Kang family buying him a plane ticket is already more than enough. She turns to me and commands, pack your things and leave the country. I've already processed your withdrawal from the university. I look at her with cold eyes. By what right do you make decisions for me? By the fact that I'm your mother, and with grades like yours, graduating will be a struggle anyway. Better to go earn money sooner. Professor Liang immediately speaks up. Madam Li, you're mistaken. During his time at this university, student Kang, Li Ruyan cuts him off before he can finish. Professor, you don't need to speak for him. I know exactly what he's like. The only reason he wanted postgraduate study was because Boda wanted it. He should take a good hard look at himself before daring to compare himself to Boda. Professor Liang turns to Kang Boda with surprise. As I recall, you didn't qualify for postgraduate selection, and you didn't sit the entrance exam. Kang Boda smiles modestly. I'm going through special direct recruitment. A distinguished professor who values a particular student is permitted to directly recruit them. The prerequisite is that the professor be of notable standing. When Professor Liang asks, which professor? Kang Boda assumes a humble expression. Dr. Nan. His clean hydrogen fuel research succeeded, was patented, and earned him the title of doctor. I look at him with quiet surprise. Dr. Nan? I don't recall planning to recruit Kang Boda. Professor Liang's eyes go wide. You know Dr. Nan? Kang Boda smiles gently. It came about by chance. My mother once funded Dr. Nan's education. After Dr. Nan achieved success, he sought out our family. My mother was the person who made his education possible. He's been providing technical support for our family company ever since. I don't think he'd refuse any request I made. I raise an eyebrow. As a child, I survived in the Kang household entirely because of Mrs. Kang's care. Once I had the means, I reached out to Mrs. Kang, using the identity of Dr. Nan. To give myself a reason to repay her for raising me, I fabricated the story that she had once sponsored my education. Over the years, whenever her company ran into technical issues, I helped without charge. But I never agreed to grant Kang Boda's every request. He has significantly overstated things. Professor Liang takes it at face value. Which university does Dr. Nan teach at currently? Kang Boda replies, I've promised the dean I'll invite Dr. Nan to join the faculty here. Professor Liang brightens. He turns to me. Nanjoo, your research area aligns with Dr. Nan's. I'll introduce you to him when the time comes. If Dr. Nan is willing to speak for you, the postgraduate placement may still be within reach. Kang Boda puts on a look of concern. Professor Liang, the Soo family is Haicheng's wealthiest. They provide substantial research funding to the university every year. Professor Liang waves this off. Dr. Nan is in extraordinary demand right now. I've heard overseas universities are competing to bring him in. Many companies are lining up to invest in him as well. If Dr. Nan is willing to step in, the university will certainly prioritize his word. Kang Boda heaves a theatrical sigh. The thing is, Dr. Nan defers to my mother. If it were me asking, he would spare no effort to help. But Nanjoo is my father's illegitimate son, which puts him in direct opposition to my mother's interests. Nanjoo, how about I go ask Dr. Nan on your behalf? I refuse coldly and without hesitation. At this moment, Kang Boda is nothing but a clown putting on a show. I let a faint smile form and turn directly to Professor Liang. Professor, you know I never really wanted to pursue postgraduate study. Professor Liang's expression falls. His face is full of regret. He was the one who recognized my ability and pushed hard for the placement. He never expected it would come to this. His eyes redden slightly. Then I'll write you a letter of recommendation for employment. Li Ruyan curls her lip. Don't waste your effort. He offended Miss Soo. Finding work in Haicheng. He's dreaming. Professor Liang says hotly. I refuse to believe anyone can hold absolute dominion over an entire city. If Nanjoo truly can't find work, he can come back and be my teaching assistant. Those words send warmth through me. I say, Professor, there's just a misunderstanding between Miss Soo and me. Once it's cleared up, everything will be fine. Please don't worry. Kang Boda's fist tightens. He cannot understand why, when he is the model student, Professor Liang only has eyes for the seemingly unremarkable Kang Nanjoo. Burning with resentment, Kang Boda glances at Li Ruyan and speaks. Is Nanjoo really going to keep bothering Miss Soo? She's married. This kind of behavior reflects very badly on you. Li Ruyan ignites exactly as expected and slaps me across the face right then and there. I stare at her in disbelief. I didn't think she would actually strike me in front of Professor Liang. Li Ruyan shows not a trace of shame. She jabs a finger at me. A few years apart and you've forgotten how this household works. Apologize to your brother right now and promise you will never approach the Soo family again. The warmth drains from my eyes, leaving only cold. She clearly didn't take anything I said the other day to heart. Does she still think I'm that same ignorant boy who took everything lying down and deferred to Kang Boda in all things? If reason won't work, then don't blame me for not holding back. A swell of satisfaction rises in Kang Boda. He thinks, you used to bow and scrape in front of me when we were children. Even after you moved out and we crossed paths again in university, same shabby appearance, but suddenly all that confidence. Today let her put you back in your place. Kang Boda is still thinking this when I walk slowly toward him, just as a smile begins to form at the corner of his mouth, expecting an apology. I snap my head up and drive my fist hard into his face. Kang Boda's head rings. He's stunned completely. Li Ruyan screams and rushes forward. Kang Nanjoo, how dare you hit him? I turn sharply, and something dangerous radiates from me. Li Ruyan freezes where she stands. What are you doing? I'm your mother. You wouldn't actually lay a hand on me. My voice is ice. You were never a mother to me, so don't expect filial piety from me. Stay out of my life from now on, and whatever you do to me I will return it twofold on Kang Boda. I bow to Professor Liang, thank him for 4 years of guidance, and tell him I'll be back once things are resolved. I turn and walk out without hesitation. Li Ruyan only comes back to herself after I've disappeared from view. I've just stepped out of the campus gate, when Ji-wol calls. Boss, got it all figured out. I understand now why Soo Chingwol tells people she's married but doesn't recognize you. The Soo family looks impressive from the outside, but the internal power struggle has been intense. The Soo patriarch favored the eldest branch and intended to pass the family to them. As the younger daughter, Soo Chingwol was constantly pushed down. A few years back, the patriarch arranged several unsuitable matches for her. It caused a huge uproar. It only stopped when Soo Chingwol claimed she had already registered a marriage with someone from an ordinary background. And this husband of hers is an interesting figure. He's never appeared in public or attended any Soo family gathering. So putting it all together, there's only one conclusion. Ji-wol draws it out, clearly enjoying the suspense. But before she can finish, I've already understood. Did you find her schedule and contact details? Ji-wol sounds slightly sheepish. I'll send you her schedule for the next few days shortly. Her personal number wasn't findable. That's fine. I'll go to her directly. Someone of Soo Chingwol's standing would keep her personal number classified. That's expected. Ji-wol immediately adds, she has bodyguards around her at all times. Getting close won't be easy. Are you going in hard or keeping it subtle? A lopsided grin forms on my face. Outside Soo Group's building, I straighten my delivery worker uniform. I walk in carrying a parcel. This is a delivery for Miss Soo. Requires her personal signature. The receptionist calls the secretariat before allowing me upstairs. I take the dedicated elevator to the 88th floor. The elevator opens onto a sweeping, open space. An entire secretariat of over 100 people works here, all in service of one person. I follow the secretary assigned to receive me to the executive office, thinking I'm almost there, when a figure steps in front of me. Lu Hua frowns, looking me over. Mr. Kang, what are you doing here? Lu Hua's expression is anything but welcoming. He still remembers me approaching Soo Chingwol at the Kang house. Soo Chingwol hadn't made an issue of it, and now I've come back disguised as a delivery worker. He waves over 2 bodyguards. What's going on here? You brought someone to the top floor without verifying identity. Get him out of here immediately. I keep my expression perfectly neutral. What exactly do you mean by that? Does Soo Group look down on delivery workers? Lu Hua gives a cold laugh. You're quite the one to turn things around. We respect every profession. But are you a delivery worker? Do you have a worker's identification? The words are barely out of his mouth before I produce a work ID. My expression sits somewhere between a smile and not. He didn't expect that. His face stiffens. You didn't just register today, did you? The ID is opened. The registration date is right there. Lu Hua stares. It wasn't registered today. He is actually a delivery worker. I call toward the closed office door in an unhurried voice. Miss Soo, are you ready to sign for your delivery? A clear voice comes from inside. Let him in. I cast a sideways glance at Lu Hua, entirely unhurried. Seeing his expression tighten, I step past him and go in. Soo Chingwol's office is minimal luxury. Black and white and gray. Not a trace of warmth in it. She finishes signing a document before she looks up. Her bright eyes reveal nothing. I point to the delivery form. Sign here, Miss Soo. Her gaze rests on me for a moment. Then she picks up the pen and signs. Then I say, Miss Soo, you're not actually married, are you? Her pen stops. She snaps her head up. Her cold eyes lock onto me. I know I've guessed right. The registry requires handwritten personal information. Errors like that don't happen. Soo Chingwol claims publicly to be married, yet she has no idea who I am. After Ji-wol's investigation, the answer is clear. Soo Chingwol invented a fictional husband to silence her family. She never actually went to the registry office. That's why she doesn't know I'm her husband. Miss Soo, I know this sounds difficult to believe, but we really are married. Soo Chingwol sits up slowly and composedly, a trace of something amused appearing on her face. Mr. Kang, save your effort. Even if I were unmarried, I would never marry you just to upset Su Feishu. I pause. She knows about my history with Su Feishu, and has concluded I'm here out of spite. That's why she refuses to believe anything I say. My coming here has nothing to do with Su Feishu. Soo Chingwol cuts me off. I have no interest in your romantic entanglements. She quickly finishes signing. Then she hands the delivery form back to me. Don't come here again to bother me. Don't say I didn't warn you. That stirs some irritation in me. Haven't you already been more than a little uncivil? You made it known you want me gone from Haicheng. Soo Chingwol frowns. What? When did I ever? Before she can finish, a distinct ringtone sounds. It's the one assigned to her grandmother. She answers immediately. The caretaker's voice comes through. Miss Soo, the old madam has gone missing again. Soo Chingwol immediately heads for the door. I want to follow and finish the conversation, but Liu Hua steps in front of me. Mr. Kang, I'd advise you to leave it here. I sigh. I'm escorted out of Soo Group. Then I make my way home at a leisurely pace. I'm just at my front door when I turn around. The old woman from before is tiptoeing along behind me. I look at her helplessly and am about to speak when she grabs my wrist. Grandson-in-law, don't you dare leave me behind again. Inside my rented place, Grandma Sue sits at the dining table and drinks 3 glasses of water in a row. I say seriously, I really am not your grandson-in-law. But the old woman is immovable. She wraps both hands around her glass and takes another long drink. Knowing I can't reason with her, I take out my phone and dial the number from before. It's answered on the first ring. Hello? The woman's voice tugs at something familiar. I'm about to speak when the old woman snatches the phone out of my hand. A short distance away, Soo Chingwol is leading a search of the surrounding streets. Her face is composed. Inside, she is quietly anxious. This grandma is 87 years old with dementia. Her body has been deteriorating for some time. The danger is constant. The moment her phone rings, she answers, and hears her grandmother's voice, surprisingly strong and clear. Don't come to get me. I'm with my grandson-in-law. Grandson-in-law? The number is the same one from before. So she's with that boy again. Soo Chingwol asks with a dark expression, where are you? The old woman says, not telling you. Soo Chingwol says, you think I can't find you if you don't tell me? The old woman fires back, don't you come looking and don't send anyone to track me. Soo Chingwol scratches her head impatiently. She covers the phone and asks the attending doctor quietly, can she be brought back by force? The doctor shakes his head. She cannot be agitated in her current state. It's best to go with her wishes. The boy from before didn't seem dangerous. Soo Chingwol accepts the situation with visible reluctance and turns back to the phone in a coaxing tone. Grandma, I still need to bring you your medicine. The old woman replies, I have my medicine with me. Stop worrying. Be a good girl and wait for me to bring your husband home. With that, she hangs up and hands the phone back to me. She looks deeply pleased with herself. Grandson-in-law, handled. I'm bewildered. What kind of family just leaves an elderly person in a stranger's care like this? I'm about to call back when a notification sounds. A contact request has come in through the number, with the note, granddaughter, I accept the request. A message arrives almost immediately. Please take care of my grandmother for a while. Her health hasn't been good. She can't have any upsets. I almost laugh. I'm typing back a cold reply. I'm not available. This isn't a charity. But before I finish, I hear something from the kitchen and go to check. Grandma Sue is boiling eggs. You can't just eat eggs if you're hungry. The tiny old woman turns around. Her wrinkled face breaks into the warmest smile. Grandson-in-law, press a warm egg to your face. It'll help the swelling go down. I go still. Perhaps I hadn't noticed it myself. I'd acted as if the slap meant nothing. But something cold had been wrapped around me since it happened, keeping me at a distance from everything. The old woman's words peel that away. Warmth fills the room. I look back at my phone. The chat window has lit up with an orange notification. You have received a transfer of 300,000. Note, 1 week's living expenses. Tell me if it's not enough. I look at the unsent message still in the input box. Good. It wasn't sent. I retype my response. Fine. I can't quite explain why I agreed. I decide it must simply be that she paid too generously. At the Kang house, Kang Boda's cheek is swollen prominently, the knuckle mark plainly visible. Li Ruyan says furiously, that wretch Kang Nanjoo must be jealous that you're marrying Miss Su Feishu. When your father gets back, have him deal with him severely. Mrs. Kang comes down the stairs slowly, her frail body evident, her voice quiet but firm. Nanjoo is not that kind of person. You must have done something to provoke him. The certainty in her voice is clear. Kang Boda sees this and swallows his resentment. He changes the subject. Mom, could you invite Dr. Nan to take a position at Haicheng University? Mrs. Kang refuses firmly. Boda, you cannot leverage someone's gratitude against them. Dr. Nan has already done more than enough for this family over the years. Kang Boda isn't surprised. He says, Haicheng University is the best in the city. Perhaps Dr. Nan would actually want to join. We could simply help make the connection with the university. Think of it as reciprocating what Dr. Nan has done for us over the years. Mrs. Kang finds this reasonably persuasive. She takes out her phone. Then I'll ask him. Kang Boda settles beside her and says, Dr. Nan has done so much for us. The debt has long been repaid. Shouldn't we invite him to a proper dinner? Wouldn't it be better to ask in person? Kang Boda thinks, Dr. Nan never refuses Mrs. Kang anything. If he comes, I'll raise the idea of becoming his postgraduate student in person. Dr. Nan won't be able to say no. Mrs. Kang is persuaded. She sends a message to Dr. Nan. Dr. Nan, would you have time to come by the house? When I see the message, concern rises immediately. Why does Mrs. Kang suddenly want to meet? Is her health getting worse? Thinking of her cough, I feel a sharp urgency. I reply, available. But just as I'm about to head out, another message arrives. Would Saturday work? I'd like to have you for a simple meal. I realize I overreacted. But eat at the Kang house? A wry smile forms. 10 years ago, the first weekend after I moved out, I went back. I stood in the garden and looked through the window at Mrs. Kang, Kang Boda, and Kang Wenjong. Mrs. Kang was smiling brightly. Li Ruyan said, you see, that is a real family. Don't come back and disturb her again. I left quietly, placing the birthday gift I'd brought for her on the doorstep. Every year after that I would leave a gift. After so many years, it was probably time to actually see her. I reply, I should be the one hosting. Saturday evening, 6 o'clock. I'll see you there. I send her the restaurant location. Mrs. Kang accepts with evident pleasure. Going to the Kang house would only mean unnecessary conflict. Better to meet somewhere quiet where I can also check on her health. I exit the conversation and find several messages from the granddaughter. Instructions for caring for Grandma Soo. I quietly go to the second bedroom and send her a short video. A short distance away on the street, 2 fully equipped vehicles are parked without drawing attention. Soo Chingwol is working inside one of them. A notification sounds. Soo Chingwol picks up her phone and looks. Her permanently frozen expression shows a trace of something close to surprise. The family doctor immediately asks, has something happened to the old madam? Soo Chingwol presses her lips together and hands him the phone. The video shows Grandma Soo lying spread-eagled on a bed with small floral prints, sleeping deeply and snoring. It's only 9 in the evening. Getting Grandma Soo to sleep before 1 in the morning is usually considered early. The doctor's expression is one of pure astonishment. The old madam truly responds to this young man differently from anyone else. If he could stay with her consistently, I genuinely believe her condition would improve. Soo Chingwol's eyes deepen slightly. She seems to be turning something over in her mind. The next morning, I receive a message from Soo Chingwol. May I come to see my grandmother tonight? I reply, of course. Anytime. I send her the exact address. Soo Chingwol notes the address and replies, sorry to impose. She needs to bring the family doctor tonight to check on her grandmother. The worry won't leave her otherwise. Seeing no further reply, Soo Chingwol senses I am not particularly fond of overly formal exchanges. Outside my door, I'm waiting with nothing to do when a familiar voice reaches me. I turn. A familiar face. It's Su Feishu. The face I remember as warm and considerate is now looking at me with dark displeasure. In university, I was always alone, a solitary figure. Su Feishu was warm and outgoing, always gravitating toward me. She was the only real friend I had. Now the situation between us is awkward. I hesitate, then ask, is something wrong? Su Feishu gives a cold laugh. Kang Boda told me about your background. Why did you hide it? I despise the other woman and illegitimate children more than anything. And here I was, chasing someone like you for 4 years like a fool. Did you find that amusing? Something clenches hard in my chest. Her own parents' marriage was troubled. There was reportedly an illegitimate daughter involved, and yet Kang Boda needed only to say about my background to shatter 4 years of friendship. I step back and create distance between us. Su Feishu steps forward. Don't you have anything to say to me? Explain what? Explain why I'm illegitimate? Or why I chose to be born from Li Ruyan's body? I give a short, humorless laugh and turn to leave. If she can't see past my birth, there's no point in the friendship. My decisiveness unsettles something in Su Feishu way. She watches me pull away and something panics inside her. Without thinking, she reaches out and grabs my wrist. You can't leave! I look back. What is it? Su Feishu's expression tightens. She doesn't like this distant, indifferent version of me. She feels something defensive rising in her. She thinks, I was the one who let go first. How did it end up feeling like I'm the one being left behind? With that thought in her chest, she says with a mocking air, still doing odd jobs? Haven't found a proper position yet? Why not come work as my personal assistant? I free my wrist and refuse coldly. I don't think I'd be a good fit. Su Feishu continues, it wouldn't involve much. I have an apartment near the office. You'd just live there and attend to my daily needs. 50,000 a month. Is that enough? My eyes go cold. You want me as a kept man? Su Feishu scoffs. That you'd definitely be qualified for. Your mother was the other woman after all. Raised in that environment, it practically runs in the family. I'm sure you'd be very professional. I push her away. My voice goes to ice. Don't push it. But she doesn't get angry. She smiles, something obsessive and unsettling in her eyes. Kang Nanjoo, believe me, sooner or later you'll end up as someone's plaything. So why not choose me? At least I'd be gentle with you for old time's sake. I'll give you time to think. When you change your mind, come find me. With that, she turns and leaves. I laugh at myself. I turn and find Soo Chingwol standing at the entrance to the private room. Her eyes are unreadable. Liu Hua addresses me. I always wondered why you didn't find stable employment after graduation, working all those side jobs. So it was Su Feishu pressuring you that caused it. I look at him confused. Liu Hua sighs. So you approaching our boss wasn't really by choice. After all, almost no one in Haicheng would dare go up against the Su family. I narrow my eyes, but don't correct him. After 2 days, this is actually the first time any of us has had a calm exchange. Liu Hua says quietly to Soo Chingwol, should we help him? He seems quite pitiful. I think yes. By all means help me. Take me to the registry office and get this marriage annulled. My company is waiting to go public. But before I get there, I hear Soo Chingwol say coldly, "Why would I do anything for someone who has nothing to do with me?" She strides past me and leaves. Pitiful? She could see it herself. What was in my eyes wasn't pity, it was sharp amusement that wouldn't stay hidden. And getting hold of her personal schedule in the first place demonstrated real resourcefulness. The corridor falls quiet. I stand there. Cold, I think. She is just cold. That evening, Soo Chingwol leaves the office on time. She arrives at the old residential area in the outskirts carrying a bag of fruit. Following the address from the message, she finds the unit and knocks. A familiar voice comes from inside quickly. Coming, coming. The door opens. Soo Chingwol looks at Grandma Soo. She looks well. She takes in the surroundings. It's a small two-bedroom unit of about 60 square meters, but it's clean and unexpectedly warm. The sound of running water is coming from the bathroom. Is he in the shower? Soo Chingwol pulls her eyes away as though startled and feels unexpectedly self-conscious. The family doctor is about to follow her in when she holds out a hand. Give me the equipment. Wait in the car. Soo Chingwol quickly and efficiently takes the old woman's blood pressure, blood sugar, and heart rate. Perhaps because of how soundly she slept last night, every reading comes back remarkably healthy, the old woman says proudly. My grandson-in-law takes such good care of me. Soo Chingwol finally lets the tension go. Her eyes drift once more toward the bathroom, then she begins packing up the equipment to leave. The old woman blinks. You're not staying for dinner? My grandson-in-law cooks wonderfully. It wouldn't be appropriate. She sets the equipment down. Leave this here for checking your health. The old woman's eyes shift. Take it back. It's useless here. My grandson-in-law doesn't know how to use it, and I don't want the doctor here. You come every day and check me yourself. She thinks, if my granddaughter comes every day, she'll see her husband. They can build something between them and end this business of living apart. The old woman feels a chubby great-grandchild beckoning to her in the distance. Soo Chingwol is about to respond when the water sound stops. She immediately stands, grabs the medical bag, and moves toward the door. I'll be going then. I'll come see you again tomorrow. The door closes just as I walk out of the bathroom dressed. Where's your granddaughter? She left. Said it wasn't appropriate. She's too proper, that one. Always with that cold face. Is that why you don't like her, grandson-in-law? She can change, you know. I say, I'm not your grandson-in-law. She says, yes, you are. After these 2 days together, I found the old woman to be gentle and accommodating about everything, except this one point. A few days later, Grandma Soo suddenly says she wants to go home to collect some clothes. I message the granddaughter and ask for the address, but when I open the location, I go still. Estate number 1. That's the Soo family estate. The entire estate spans 3,000 acres. The Soo family's historic residence alone takes up over 2,000 of them. It's Haicheng's most famous wealthy enclave. I assumed the old woman lived in one of the smaller villas. It never occurred to me she was a Soo. But when we arrive, I look up at the grand, elaborately carved black gate with its classical beauty and stately presence. And I say haltingly, Grandma, is this really your home? The old woman blinks sleepily, her gaze vague. Grandson-in-law, I can't quite remember. I have no choice but to message the granddaughter. The reply comes immediately. Stay where you are. I'll be right there. I notice the nearest neighboring property is at least a 5-minute drive away. This is not a place to wander. I help Grandma Soo settle onto a nearby stone bench. A luxury car pulls up in front of us. Kang Boda and Lee Ruyan step out of the back seat and come straight toward us. Lee Ruyan's brows are tightly knit. Kang Nanjoo, I knew it. What are you doing here? She came today as Kang Boda's attendant for a visit to the Soo estate and spotted a young man lingering outside the gate from a distance. She didn't expect it to actually be me. Kang Boda looks at the closed gate. Nanjoo, are you here to bother Miss Soo Chingwol again? At that, Lee Ruyan erupts. You shameless wretch. Do you know what today is? Get out of here right now. If you ruin Boda's family introduction, I will not let this go. As thoroughly sick of them as I am, Grandma Soo is here. I don't want a scene. I push down my irritation and say plainly, I'm returning the old woman home. We took a wrong turn. Kang Boda says before thinking, isn't this your wife's grandmother? How could she possibly live here? I shoot back, why not? Is this estate yours? Lee Ruyan tears into me. Who do you think you're fooling? Your destitute wife's grandmother living here? She turns directly to the old woman. Old woman, if you live here, tell me which villa is yours. I frown and am about to speak, when the old woman suddenly stands. I remember now, this is my home. Grandson-in-law, take me inside. She takes my hand and pulls me toward the gate. We're still about 100 meters from the entrance. Kang Boda says, Nanjoo, all those excuses, and it still comes down to using this old woman as your way into the Soo estate. I pause and look toward the gate. A suspicion has been forming since I first saw it, but I can't bring myself to connect the polite, considerate granddaughter from those messages with the cold and formidable Soo Chingwol. Maybe the old woman has the wrong address. I'm about to check again, when Lee Ruyan lunges forward and reaches for Grandma Soo. Showing up with lies like this? Shameless. Don't you dare cause trouble at the Soo estate. I'm startled. One arm wraps around Grandma Soo, the other catches Lee Ruyan. I push her back hard. The old woman is this age. She cannot take even a slight knock. Lee Ruyan stumbles backward several steps. When she regains her footing, she screams, You actually hit your own mother for this old hag? I ignore her and check Grandma Soo immediately. The old woman has never been spoken to like that in her life. She is shaking all over, her body trembling beyond her control. I hold her steady. I reach for the fast-acting heart medication from her pocket. I open the bottle. It's empty. My pupils contract. Her condition is fragile. Chest compression should only be a last resort. She needs medicine. I snap my gaze to the gate. The Soo family will have medication. Even if she isn't a Soo, she's a neighbor. They wouldn't let someone die on their doorstep. I lift her into my arms. Don't be scared, Grandma. I'm taking you for your medicine. But Kang Boda suddenly moves to block me. He grabs my arm hard. Nanjoo, stop this. The Soo family won't let you in. He looks at the old woman, something dark passing through his eyes. He thinks, she doesn't look good. She might not make it, and if she dies here, Kang Nanjoo's wife will hate him for it. In this moment, I feel a rage building in me that I can barely contain. I kick him to the ground. The next moment, something locks around my leg. Lee Ruyan is on the ground, both arms wrapped around it with everything she has. She screams, I'm going to die. My own son is killing me. I'll die before I let this old woman pull a con on the Soo family. I'm shaking with rage, but with Grandma Soo in my arms, I can't free myself. Then a black luxury car rolls to a stop nearby. Soo Chingwol steps out. What is going on here? Kang Boda says, Miss Soo, Nanjoo is trying to use this dying old woman to force his way into the Soo estate. I tried to stop him, but I couldn't. I slowly turn around. When Soo Chingwol sees who I'm holding, her pupils contract sharply. Her face stays still. Inside, she is terrified. Grandma Soo is the person she is closest to in this world. Her health has been declining steadily over recent years. The doctor has already hinted that she may not make it through the year. Soo Chingwol cannot lose her. I see her coming and have already pieced it together. The old madam's heart. Her medication is empty. Get her medicine quickly and she'll be fine. Soo Chingwol presses her lips together and reaches out to take her grandmother from my arms. Then she runs into the estate without looking back. I don't follow, because Lee Ruyan was still clinging to my leg. Kang Boda stares after Soo Chingwol's retreating figure in bewilderment. A sharp, sickening unease rises in him. She couldn't be Grandma Soo herself, could she? Lee Ruyan says, Miss Soo is only panicking because she's afraid someone will die on her doorstep. That would make the Soo family look like they stood by and did nothing. Bad for the reputation. Kang Boda frowns and turns it over. Right, there's no way Kang Nanjoo's wife is Soo Chingwol. He really is overthinking. Just then, the Soo estate gate opens, and Soo Feishu steps out. Kang Boda's face lights up. Feishu, you could have waited in the car park. Why did you come all the way to the gate? Soo Feishu's expression carries a trace of displeasure. Kang Boda had messaged saying he was almost here, but said the gifts were too many to carry and asked her to come help. She waited in the car park for a long time with no sign of him, so she came out to look. And the first person she sees is me. Her steps falter. In an instant, the displeasure on her face vanishes. She forces a soft expression and turns to Kang Boda. It's your first time here. I was worried you'd have trouble finding your way. Kang Boda hurries up to her, all smiles. Feishu, you're so thoughtful, he asked tentatively. Is the old madam at home? Her health isn't well. She's been resting at home. Grandma Soo lives separately, in her own courtyard, and doesn't allow visitors, so in truth, Soo Feishu has no idea whether she's actually there. Kang Boda takes it at face value and visibly relaxes. Soo Feishu looks at me, searching for jealousy, envy, or resentment, but my face holds only a cold, brooding darkness. My thoughts are entirely on Grandma Soo. I have no attention to spare for their little performance. At this point, I'm nearly certain the granddaughter is Soo Chingwol. I stare at the gate and think about whether I'd be stopped if I tried to walk in. Then a shadow falls in front of me. Soo Feishu is standing right in front of me. Kang Nanjoo, does coming here mean you've come around? I say nothing, expression dark. Soo Feishu gives a cold laugh. If you have, just call me. Who gave you permission to come to the Soo estate? Do you think a gate like this is open to an illegitimate child? But if you really want to see inside, there is a way. All you have to do is, before she can finish, Kang Boda cuts in. Feishu, you've got the wrong idea. Nanjoo is waiting for his wife's grandmother. The old woman had a sudden heart episode. Miss Soo Chingwol carried her inside for emergency treatment. Soo Feishu blinks. What? His wife? Kang Boda says lightly. Right, I kept meaning to tell you. Nanjoo got married. Soo Feishu's eyes go red immediately. She says through gritted teeth, Kang Nanjoo, who is she? Contempt shows clearly in my eyes. Soo Feishu, who my wife is, has nothing to do with you. Soo Feishu's voice jumps up sharply. How is it nothing to do with me? I'd like to see who would dare marry you without my approval. Kang Boda quickly supplies. From what Nanjoo's mother said, she's just some girl from the streets. Soo Feishu clenches her fists. Is this how low you think of yourself? An illegitimate son and a nobody. What a perfect match. Kang Boda continues. Nanjoo must be resentful too. That's probably why he keeps bothering Miss Soo Chingwol. I give a cold, contemptuous laugh. Kang Boda, you call yourself the eldest son of the Kang family, yet your mind is a sewer. Kang Boda's expression stiffens. He tightens his fist and sighs with theatrical concern. I know you're doing this to get back at Feishu and me, but Miss Soo Chingwol is already married. You shouldn't try to destroy someone else's marriage. Soo Feishu is incensed. She had been waiting for my call for days. If I came around, she would have let it go. But I went and got married. The realization floods in and she snaps. That explains why your wife's grandmother happened to collapse at my door. You came here for my aunt, didn't you? Kang Nanjoo, have you no shame? She points at me furiously and turns to the gate security. Look at him carefully. Remember this face. He is never to set foot in the Soo estate again. Kang Boda lowers his head to hide the satisfaction forming at the corner of his mouth. Soo Fei still has some say over this gate, but the next moment, the Soo estate's butler steps out from inside. His gaze sweeps across the group and comes to rest on me. Mr. Kang Nanjoo, Miss Chingwol invites you inside. Kang Boda freezes. Soo Fei stares in complete disbelief. I look up at the gate security with an expression somewhere between a smile and not. So, can I go in now? The guard steals a careful glance at Soo Fei, then opens the gate without hesitation. He knows perfectly well who holds the real authority in this household. I go through. Soo Fei and the others follow behind. Li Ruyan glares at me. Miss Soo Chingwol probably called you in to collect your grandmother. Once you have her, the two of you should be quick about leaving. And don't you dare dirty the Soo family's carpets, you wretch. With that, they all enter the living room. And there, seated upright in the center seat of the main sofa, is Grandma Soo. The old woman stares at them with sharp eyes. You wicked woman, just who are you calling a wretch? She's changed into elegant formal clothes, but her color is still poor. Soo Chingwol sits beside her, cold and composed. Li Ruyan goes rigid. Kang Boda's legs nearly give out beneath him. Soo Fei grabs his arm just in time. Soo Fei looks puzzled. What's wrong with you? Kang Boda's hands are shaking. He is already marrying well above his station. Every elder in this house is someone he needs to carefully win over. And he's already offended the old madam before he even got through the door. He forces a rueful smile. Nanjoo, why did you let us believe the old madam was your wife's grandmother? Because of you, we were disrespectful to her. I immediately feel several suspicious eyes turn in my direction. Li Ruyan catches up quickly. You knew the old madam has dementia and you used that to deceive her? What kind of place do you think the Soo estate is? Get on your knees and apologize right now. My eyes go flat, so they're going to pin everything on me, and conveniently clear Kang Boda's name in the process. Clever. A teacup flies across the room with a sharp crack. Scalding tea soaks into Li Ruyan's clothing. She doesn't dare make a sound. The old madam's voice rises with fury. You insolent woman! He is my granddaughter's husband. Li Ruyan bears the burning pain and says, Old madam, you've been deceived by him. I am absolutely certain his wife is nobody. There's no need to argue. Why not simply ask the person in question? Soo Fei's mother speaks up from the side. Chingwol, is he really your husband? I look at Soo Chingwol quietly, and hear the answer I expected. No. What a thankless, ungrateful woman. Kang Boda's face brightens with visible relief. Li Ruyan curls her lip. I knew it. This is all Kang Nanjoo's doing. I give a short, cold laugh and am about to respond. When Soo Chingwol continues, my grandmother mistook him for someone she knew, so I asked Mr. Kang to help look after her for a while. Everyone goes quiet. Nobody expected that. After a moment, Kang Boda lowers his head and says, I see. Nanjoo, why didn't you just tell us that? If you had, none of this misunderstanding would have happened. Soo Chingwol reclines against the sofa, her posture casual, but her presence commanding when she speaks. Mr. Kang Boda, hiding behind others when trouble comes, deflecting blame onto someone else. Is that what the Kang family teaches its children? Grandma Soo immediately follows with sharp indignation. So you think a few loose screws in my head means I can't see through your little games? You made a mistake, you show no remorse, and then you try to drag someone else down with you. The two of you have no shame. Grandma Soo looks directly at Soo Fei. Call off the engagement. I will not accept this man as my great-granddaughter's husband. Kang Boda goes rigid all over. He worked so long and so hard for this engagement. It cannot just disappear like this. He looks at Soo Fei, but her eyes are still on me. She clearly hasn't recovered from the shock and fury of finding out I'm married. Kang Boda tightens his fist, walks to Soo Fei and says, Fei, this is my fault. Don't worry. Even if the engagement is called off, the introduction I promised you will still happen. Soo Fei comes back to herself. Kang Boda is still going to introduce her to Dr. Nan. In the current landscape of new energy projects, Dr. Nan is among the very top names. She quickly turns to Grandma Soo. Great-Grandma, Kang Boda didn't know any better. Please forgive him. Besides, the betrothal gifts have already been exchanged. Calling off the engagement now would be awkward for everyone. Grandma Soo looks at her for a long moment. Do as you like. Great-granddaughter's affairs are for her parents to decide. She doesn't intend to interfere further. But Soo Fei's mother smiles and says, Grandma, didn't you forget the meeting gift? Grandma Soo's eyelids droop immediately at that. I'll have someone transfer 180,000 to Fei. Soo Fei's mother's face stiffens. But you said before that you were worried about them being tight on money as newlyweds. Weren't you going to give them 2% of the shares? The wealthiest person in the Soo family is Grandma Soo. She came from a powerful family herself, with a substantial personal dowry, and she controls 20% of Soo Group's shares. Soo Fei's mother has long been scheming to extract a significant portion of those shares through this marriage. It was all arranged, but the old madam has changed her mind at the last moment. Grandma Soo looks at her with a smile that isn't quite a smile. I'm not satisfied with this great-grandson-in-law, so I've changed what I'm giving. Kang Boda goes white. The humiliation is crushing. There are plenty of servants in this household. This will get around. Eventually all of Haicheng will hear about it. But Grandma Soo doesn't care about any of that. She simply takes me and Soo Chingwol to her private courtyard. Then she finds a reason to step away, leaving Soo Chingwol to entertain her grandson-in-law properly. Now the courtyard holds only the two of us. The night is ink dark. I stand side by side with Soo Chingwol. I'm still deciding how to begin when Soo Chingwol suddenly turns to look at me, brow tightly drawn, undisguised distaste in her eyes. I refuse to be outdone and turn to look at her just as directly. Soo Chingwol's expression goes dark. she thinks. He actually maneuvered grandmother into saying all that. His motives are clearly not innocent. Grandmother attaching herself to him might have been coincidence. There's no visible sign of manipulation there. But this man's willingness to take grandmother in might be because she accidentally revealed her identity. Then I remember the actual point of this. I recall you said in your messages that you'd do me a favor. Could we go to the registry office together and check on our marital status? Soo Chingwol says with a dark expression, fine. But if it turns out to be false, I expect you to stop using my grandmother to get close to me. Grandma Soo's head pops out from a window. Are you bullying my grandson-in-law? Soo Chingwol's expression locks up. No, dinner is simple. 4 dishes and a soup, just enough for 3. But Grandma Soo has little appetite, picking at a few bites before setting down her chopsticks. Grandson-in-law, I'm tired. Let's go home. Please don't push yourself. Rest here at home tonight. The small courtyard is equipped like a private care facility, every kind of medical device present. But the old woman grips my hand anxiously. Then can you stay and keep me company? I frown and glance at Soo Chingwol. Honestly, I'm also worried about the old woman. But this woman has made her distaste for me quite clear. She thinks I'm using the old woman to get close to her. She'll never agree. Soo Chingwol pauses, then says, all right. Then she gives me a meaningful look. The meaning is clear. This is entirely for her grandmother's sake. I should harbor no other ideas. Grandma Soo is delighted. She says happily, wherever my grandson-in-law is, that's where I am. After dinner, I take Grandma Soo back to her room. She must be genuinely exhausted after the episode today. The moment she lies down, she drifts off. Her sleep is very restless. I have no choice but to sit at the bedside and stay with her. Outside the window, Soo Chingwol's expression is severe. What is happening with grandmother? The family doctor, who has a background in psychology, says, I can't say why the old madam has become so attached to this young man, but I can guess at why she's so unsettled. I believe the old madam senses she may not make it through the year. She's afraid that when she goes, you'll have nothing tying you down. This grandson-in-law is the only person she can leave behind to be with you. Soo Chingwol goes still. Something stirs in her dark eyes, impossible to fully suppress. Only after a long time does the stillness return. She stands in the moonlight, as if she might simply turn and surrender herself to the darkness behind her. After some time, she suddenly turns and strides back toward the main residence. Kang Boda's dinner is a miserable ordeal, owing to the loss of the 2% shares. Su Feishui's mother Lu Meishu is very displeased and makes no effort to be polite. Isn't Kang Nanjoo your family's illegitimate child? How is it that he can win the old madam over and you can't? Kang Boda can only bow his head. Aunt Lu, I don't have Nanjoo's way with words. I'm not as good at winning people over. Lu Meihu snorts. I don't care how you do it. Get me those 2% shares back. Otherwise don't think about stepping foot in this house again. Kang Boda swallows his grievances. He endures the meal and finally manages to excuse himself. But before he can leave, Soo Chingwol returns. The moment she walks in, her presence fills the room with pressure. She takes one look at the leftovers on the table and her expression darkens further. Her grandmother ate nothing tonight, and these people were here enjoying a full spread. Lu Meihu catches that expression and wisely says nothing. It is Su Feishui's father, Su Eugene, who furrows his brow and asks, Chingwol, why are you back? Soo Chingwol ignores this man who is only technically her elder brother. She simply looks at Kang Boda. Since the engagement stands, you are now effectively part of the Soo family, correct? Then as a member of this family, you follow its rules. You defied your elders today. You will kneel in front of the ancestral hall for the night. Soo Chingwol beckons behind her without giving anyone a chance to argue. 2 bodyguards step up to Kang Boda. Young Master Kang, if you would. Kang Boda is completely thrown. Kneel through the entire night. He has been pampered his whole life. How is he supposed to manage that? He looks desperately to Su Feishu, but she clearly doesn't dare stand against the authority of the family head. He takes a deep breath and follows the bodyguards. Just before he passes through the door, he hears Su Feishu ask, Aunt Chingwol, what about Kang Nanjoo? Has he left? Then he hears Soo Chingwol's reply, carrying a note of warning. He is my guest. He's staying at the estate tonight. Kang Boda arrives at the ancestral hall with the bodyguards. One of the bodyguards says, Miss said since you aren't married yet, you can't enter the Soo ancestral hall. Kneel outside. The ground outside is hard blue brick. Kang Boda tries to say something, but the 2 bodyguards stand with hands clasped behind their backs, staring at him without expression. It's October. The nights are already cold. Kang Boda shivers continuously, the biting chill working from his knees into his bones. He thinks about cheating, but those 2 bodyguards watch him like stone guardians. They say nothing, but the effect is thoroughly chilling. And then he thinks of me, presumably lying in a warm and comfortable bed inside, and his teeth grind together, but he tells himself, he can only stay 1 night. I'll be living here for the rest of my life, and the meeting with Dr. Nan is coming soon. He absolutely must play that card right. The next morning, after washing up, I join Grandma Soo and Soo Chingwol for breakfast. There is a plate of fried sugar cakes on the table. Grandma Soo reaches for one immediately. Soo Chingwol frowns. Grandma, your blood sugar is high. You shouldn't be having anything this oily and sweet. While she's still thinking of how to stop her, I say simply, Grandma, that's not good for you. And that stubborn old woman's hand makes a little arc in the air and deposits the sugar cake in my bowl. She gives me a winning smile. I picked that for you, grandson-in-law. Soo Chingwol is momentarily thrown. She looks at me with searching eyes, unable to understand why her grandmother listens to me so readily. I eat the sugar cake without hesitation. Then I look at Soo Chingwol. By the way, when we go to the registry office you'll need to bring your ID and household registration. Grandma Soo asks with curiosity, why are you going to the registry office? The marriage certificate got lost. We're going to get a replacement. And actually, this isn't just a line. You need the certificate for a divorce. But the old woman says it isn't lost. She hurries into the bedroom and comes back with 2 red marriage certificates. I stare at the certificate in my hands, speechless. I suddenly realize why she called me grandson-in-law the very first time she saw me. She already knew we were married. Grandma, why do you have these? The old woman blinks, her expression going a little vague. I can't quite remember. Then how did Miss Soo and I get married? She shakes her head again. I don't remember. Grandma, please try to think a little harder. That's enough. Soo Chingwol gives a quiet, dismissive sound. She steps directly between me and the old woman and looks at me with a cold expression. She's thinking, using the registry office as legitimate cover to establish a foundation, then coaxing grandmother into producing this forged certificate so she believes it herself. If she hadn't just watched how completely grandmother defers to me, she might almost believe it. I can feel a faint killing intent in her tone and find it completely baffling. We don't have to go today. After all, divorce isn't something you sort out with one visit to the registry. We've been legally married for 2 years. There are significant asset division questions. We need to draft a divorce agreement first. No, Soo Chingwol says it, then watches me carefully. She sees me hesitate slightly, then say, as you like. She thinks, is he that good at acting? Or is the certificate real? Soo Chingwol finds herself suddenly uncertain. She takes the certificate, goes ahead and says, I'll wait for you in the car park. I give Grandma Soo a reassuring smile. We've barely reached the car park when we find Li Ruyan there, looking pained as she supports Kang Boda, who is pale, sneezing and shaking in both legs. When Li Ruyan sees me, her eyes light up. She comes over quickly, carefully going around Soo Chingwol to reach me. You have to help your brother. Her tone is entirely self-righteous. I raise an eyebrow. I can't figure out how they're here this early, unless they never left last night. I say nothing. Li Ruyan launches into it immediately. Nanjoo, you're illegitimate, but the Kang family raised you regardless of your birth. You owe them something. Your brother was even better to you. He let you go to school with him. He shared his clothes with you. And when you were born, you were so weak, they didn't think you'd survive. I didn't produce enough milk, so you only made it because you took what belonged to your brother. The Kang family hadn't planned on taking us in at all. It was only because you and your brother were born on the same day that Mrs. Kang and your father let us stay. So you owe your brother. You should spend your entire life being good to him. These are words I haven't heard in 10 years, yet they're completely familiar. I think of the child I was, who believed every word, who swallowed it all and let Kang Boda do whatever he wanted. Now I only find it absurd. Yes, the Kang family raised me, but parents are legally required to provide for their children. If they hadn't, they would have committed the crime of abandonment. Yes, I went to school alongside Kang Boda, but I carried his school bag to and from school and served as his personal errand boy on campus. If Kang Boda so much as coughed, it was considered my failure to look after him, and Li Ruyan would beat me for it. At school, I was only permitted to score near the bottom, because I was not allowed to outshine Kang Boda. I had no clothes of my own because my parents never provided any. I wore only what Kang Boda discarded, so my clothes were always a size too small. Mrs. Kang did once buy me new clothes, but the moment I put them on, Li Ruyan tore them off me and gave them to Kang Boda, saying I wasn't worthy of them. I was not allowed to look better than Kang Boda. As for being a weak infant, what baby wouldn't be weak after going 4 or 5 days without being properly fed? The contempt in my eyes deepens. Li Ruyan notices nothing. She continues, now that you've grown up, you finally have a chance to repay the Kang family. Nanjoo, the old madam listens to you, doesn't she? Go tell her to give those 2% shares to your brother. I suddenly smile. You're right. At that, Li Ruyan's face lifts, thinking she's gotten through to me. But the next moment I say lightly, I'm just a lowly illegitimate child. Why would the old madam listen to anything I say? Li Ruyan freezes, about to try again, but I've already walked past her and gotten into Soo Chingwol's car. Seeing Li Ruyan, looking like she might follow, Soo Chingwol gets into the driver's seat and shuts the door cleanly. She takes her time fastening her seatbelt, then drives away without a word. The black luxury car moves smoothly along the road. Through the rearview mirror, Soo Chingwol can see me looking out the window, my expression calm and distant on a face she has to admit is striking. She pulls her gaze back to the road. The warning she had been preparing to give stays unspoken. The car reaches the registry office quickly. The moment it stops, a voice comes through the window. Boss, the driver said you took the car yourself. I panicked and tracked the GPS. Is something wrong? Soo Chingwol, as always, offers nothing in response. Lu Hua looks at the registry office. Why are you here? Don't tell me Kang Nanjoo is still harassing you? Don't worry, I said he'd never get near you again. If he does, I'll livestream myself eating garbage. Before Lu Hua finishes, a lazy male voice comes from nearby. He goes rigid. What's your livestream channel? Lu Hua is at a complete loss. The three of them then go inside to the service window. Lu Hua speaks first. Hello, can a certificate be obtained without both parties present? The clerk frowns. Of course not. You heard that. Lu Hua looks at me with a smug smile. Then he spots the marriage certificate in my hand and scoffs. You even came prepared with a forged document. I'm calling the police right now and reporting you for forgery and harassment. But Soo Chingwol hands the certificate to the clerk. Please check whether this certificate is genuine. The clerk gives her a strange look, then takes the certificate and inputs the information into the computer. Soo Chingwol presses her lips together. She suddenly finds her own behavior almost absurd. She is completely certain she has never been married, and yet here she is. She even canceled an important meeting for this. The clerk looks up. This certificate is genuine. Soo Chingwol goes very still. Liu Hua reacts without thinking. That can't be right. Is there an error in your records? The clerk gives him a sharp look. What are you talking about? Marriage is a serious matter. Both parties are carefully verified and required to sign a declaration. At the word declaration, I immediately say, may we see our declaration? At the same moment, Soo Chingwol says, please bring out the declaration. They look at each other and immediately look away. The clerk says with a helpless sigh, you two are certainly in sync for a married couple. Fine, I'll go find it. He returns quickly with the registration file and pulls out the declaration for us to examine. The handwriting is unmistakably mine. Liu Hua stares beside her. Boss, this really is your handwriting. I think for a moment, then look around the room and spot a security camera. Hello, would it be possible to view the security footage from the day we registered? I'm sorry, we only retain footage for 6 months. The clerk then assures us that a marriage certificate absolutely cannot be issued unless both parties are physically present. Their procedures do not allow for errors. The three of us leave the registry office with nothing resolved. Standing outside, Liu Hua says blankly, Boss, what now? Soo Chingwol's eyes darken. I raise an eyebrow. Then both of us say at exactly the same time, divorce. Liu Hua blinks. So if you're divorcing now, should you discuss the terms? Again in perfect unison, Soo Chingwol and I both say, I'll have my lawyer contact you. Talk to my lawyer. After saying it, both of us can't help looking at each other. I give a short laugh. How about we each have our lawyers draft a proposal first, and if there are issues, then the lawyers can negotiate. Liu Hua scoffs, as if you could afford a lawyer. But Soo Chingwol nods in agreement. I ignore Liu Hua and take out my phone. Miss Soo, let's connect on WeChat. Easier to stay in touch. Soo Chingwol pauses, then takes out her phone and opens her WeChat QR code with a meaningful look. I scan it. A chat window opens on my phone. The saved name reads, Silly Granddaughter. Her expression darkens immediately. I'm momentarily lost too. I forgot we were already connected. Looking at her expression, I cough. The name was just something I typed without thinking at the time. I quickly shield the phone and change the name from Silly Granddaughter to Silly Girl. Then I leave a simple message, see you around. And I flag down a taxi and go. Watching me leave, Liu Hua turns to Soo Chingwol. Boss, you two really are married, aren't you? You were way too in sync just now. Soo Chingwol glances at him. Find the best divorce attorney. Draft an agreement. Protect the external assets. Liu Hua agrees immediately, then something clicks. I understand now. That man must have engineered the whole marriage. Since he couldn't win your heart, he's going after your money. That's why he can afford a lawyer to fight you in a divorce. Liu Hua is furious. Don't worry. I won't let him take a single cent from you. In the taxi on the other side of the city, I'm calling Jiwol. Find the best divorce attorney. She is not taking a single cent from me. Jiwol says, no problem. But boss, how did you even end up married? Neither of you remembers. It's not like you both got amnesia. You think we're in a drama? I'm just curious. It's ridiculous and exciting at the same time. Maybe one day the registry office will just assign me a husband too. I let out a quiet sigh. After a pause, I say, there is someone who definitely knows what happened. Jiwol says, Grandma Soo, but she can't remember. I frown. The clinical trial for the Alzheimer's treatment needs to be accelerated, otherwise we'll run out of time. Soon, I'm back home. I open the door and step into the familiar room, and notice that the 60-square-meter apartment feels a little empty. Just then, Grandma Soo comes in from the hallway pulling a suitcase. Grandson-in-law, you're back. I've been waiting for you. I brought lots of clothes this time. I pause, then I smile. That day, Haicheng's most renowned divorce law firm receives 2 separate requests to draft divorce agreements. Both parties are anonymous. Both have the same requirement: the other party may not take any of their money. The terms are extremely demanding. The junior attorney beside the partner mutters, in all the divorces I've handled, I've never seen anything this cold-blooded. One's a man, one's a woman. Turns out ruthlessness doesn't discriminate. The senior attorney has seen plenty of loving couples turn into bitter enemies. He's seen worse than this. He laughs. Easy double fee. Get them ready and send them to our clients. At the top floor of Soo Group, Soo Chingwol has been working non-stop since returning from the registry office. It's almost the end of the workday when she gets a call from home, saying grandmother has gone off to find her grandson-in-law again. Grandmother needs daily health checks to monitor her readings. Soo Chingwol's brow creases slightly. She opens WeChat instinctively, finds my contact, and wants to say something, but doesn't know how to put it. Ever since realizing I'm the person she'd been messaging, something has felt awkward. She scrolls casually through their conversation history. Their earlier exchanges were easy and casual, like old friends, especially when he helped her vent about someone. Wait, the person she was venting about that day in the restaurant? Wasn't that him? Soo Chingwol's expression goes dark again immediately. Then her phone vibrates. I've sent a divorce agreement. Miss Soo, the asset division terms in this agreement are my absolute minimum. Please review and let me know if they're acceptable. Asset division? Could this man really have engineered the marriage for money? Then Liu Hua walks in. Boss, any results from the investigation into your marriage? As Liu Hua speaks, Soo Chingwol pulls up the divorce agreement on her computer. She reads through it quickly. Her eyes land on the asset division clause. When she sees what it says, she pauses with faint surprise. Liu Hua cranes his neck and looks too. He lets out a contemptuous laugh. That man is actually funny. He's worried about you taking his assets? What assets? His debts? Soo Chingwol asks, eyes lowered. What did the investigation find? Boss, we found that Kang Nanjoo discovered you were already married a few days ago when he went to register a marriage with someone else. Based on this divorce agreement, he also seems to be pushing for a quick divorce. He genuinely seems to have had no idea. Liu Hua continues, then pivots. But honestly, that almost feels too convenient. We looked into him and found that his life after leaving the Kang household has major gaps we can't fill. Boss, doesn't that strike you as odd? Why would an ordinary person hide so much about themselves? Soo Chingwol half narrows her eyes, thoughtful. So you think he's connected to this? Liu Hua scratches his head. But it's been 2 years already, and we genuinely have no leads. Maybe we just have to wait until the old madam remembers something. Soo Chingwol gives him a flat look. Liu Hua quickly drops his head. It's our failure, we'll keep looking. Soo Chingwol prints out 2 copies of the divorce agreement. She stands and heads out, asking, have you made contact with the Nova researcher yet? Apparently they're close to producing a clinical treatment for Alzheimer's. Soo Chingwol wants to get that medicine to her grandmother the moment it's available. At that, Liu Hua's head drops even lower. The Nova researcher is almost impossible to locate. With all the major biotech companies hunting for them, they've become even more careful. Feeling the chill from Soo Chingwol, he says, Boss, I promise I'll track them down. Meanwhile, I've just finished dinner with Grandma Soo when a WeChat message comes in from Soo Chingwol. I'm downstairs, come down. I make an excuse about taking out the rubbish and go downstairs. The familiar black luxury car is right there. In the car, Soo Chingwol hands me the divorce agreement. I have no objection, sign it. Her dark eyes fix on me. She expects me to find a reason to stall. Instead, without a moment's hesitation, I sign both copies. I look up. Are we doing it tomorrow? Soo Chingwol's eyes deepen slightly. That eager? I think of course I'm eager. My company is waiting to go public. After studying me for a moment, she says, fine. I add, tomorrow morning then. Bring your ID, household registration, and the marriage certificate. I'll see you at the registry office. Soo Chingwol nods. Then her expression abruptly changes. Grandma Soo has come downstairs at some point without anyone noticing. She is staring at us, her face drained of color. She presses a hand to her chest, her voice trembling. You're getting a divorce? Then her eyes close and she collapses toward the ground. Outside the very important person ward at the first hospital, the doctor says, the patient's condition has stabilized for now. She cannot be subjected to any more emotional stress. I hear this and think of the emergency measures applied to her just now. I still feel the lingering fear. I look at Soo Chingwol standing nearby. Her face is expressionless. She looks perfectly composed. But when the doctor says Grandma Soo is no longer in immediate danger, she reaches up and loosens her collar slightly. Then she sinks slowly onto the hallway bench, a faint trembling going through her that she cannot hold back. Then the nurse's voice comes from inside. The old madam is awake. Soo Chingwol goes in immediately. By the time I follow, the old woman has her eyes open. She looks at me, her voice rough. Grandson-in-law, I dreamed you and my granddaughter were getting a divorce. That isn't real, is it? I don't speak. But Soo Chingwol speaks. It wasn't real. We're not getting a divorce. The old woman says, then give me the household registration and the marriage certificate. All right. Soo Chingwol gives the old woman whatever she asks for. The old woman looks at me. Grandson-in-law, is what she said true? I think of the doctor's warning, pause for a moment, then say, yes, it's true. Grandma Soo is satisfied. Though her episode was brought on by a sudden emotional surge, she will be kept in for observation tonight. Soo Chingwol and I stay in the ward together. Evening falls. I'm sitting relaxed on the sofa working on a document on my phone. It's research on the clinical Alzheimer's treatment. But the final stage contains a technical problem I can't crack. I need to look through some biomedical literature. While I'm thinking, a message pops up from Silly Girl. Mr. Kang, we'll proceed with the divorce once grandmother's condition is stable. I can't refuse that. The agreement is already signed. Our assets are independent from this point on. I'm still technically married, but it doesn't affect the company going public. The timing of the actual divorce doesn't really matter. I reply, fine. Soo Chingwol stares at my reply and narrows her eyes slightly. She asks, any other conditions? When grandmother has recovered, just proceed with the divorce as soon as possible. Soo Chingwol frowns. She suddenly finds this man genuinely difficult to read. In the bed, the little old woman looks at me, then at Soo Chingwol. The two of them are barely exchanging a word. That won't do. The old woman says suddenly, granddaughter, I want to arrange a job for your husband at Soo Group. If they go to work together and come home together every day, feelings will naturally develop. Soo Chingwol pauses slightly, then says, all right. She is unusually agreeable tonight. But the old woman has to think about what job to arrange. Then an idea strikes her. Grandson-in-law, I'll sort it out. Follow your wife to work tomorrow. I blink. All right. Because it just occurred to me that Soo Group must have an extensive archive. There may be documents there I need. Soo Chingwol has a meeting. She says goodbye to grandmother and leaves with Liu Hua. But barely in the corridor, Liu Hua says, so that's why that man signed the divorce agreement so readily. He had the old madam come downstairs. There's no way to divorce with her around. He looks at Soo Chingwol. And now he's charmed the old madam into getting him a job at Soo Group. He's definitely scheming something. Why did you agree? Soo Chingwol says, if I don't keep him where I can see him, how will his flaws surface? A sharp glint passes through her eyes. For grandmother's sake, divorce is impossible right now. As for whether the man is genuinely innocent, she'll see what he's actually after once he's in the company. In the ward, I'm lying on the sofa. Then the old woman's voice comes to me. Grandson-in-law, I have a secret to tell you. I sit up immediately. Has she remembered something important? Like how she knows me, or how I came to marry Soo Chingwol? I ask with barely contained anticipation. What secret? The old woman says with great secrecy. My granddaughter has a weakness almost nobody knows about. I'm telling you now, if she ever mistreats you, use it. I'm thrown. Honestly, this isn't what I was hoping to hear. But the old woman continues. Don't let that fierce exterior fool you. She's afraid of cats. I go still. I suddenly think of a girl I knew when I was small who was also afraid of cats. I wouldn't have imagined Soo Chingwol, with that cold composure of hers, being afraid of cats. The old woman asks, do you prefer cats or dogs? Dogs. I used to like cats, but a girl I knew didn't like them, so I stopped liking them too. On the third day, at the top floor of Soo Group, a small fluffy Shiba Inu is wagging its tail and circling around me. Liu Hua is exasperated. Why did the old madam arrange the job of looking after a puppy for Mr. Kang? Soo Chingwol doesn't quite understand it either. They say elderly people sometimes revert to childlike thinking, acting on pure whim. But a job looking after a dog is going too far. She says firmly, take him to the new Energy Research Division, Team 1. She had already prepared for this. The new Energy Division doesn't touch the company's core operations, but it does relate to its future direction. She wants to put me there and see what I reveal. I have no strong feelings about any of this. I pick up the puppy and follow Liu Hua. Does it have a name? The old madam said to let you name it. I glance at Soo Chingwol and feel a smile form. Then let's call it Little Cat. You want to name a dog Little Cat? Is that a problem? The new Energy Research Division is on the 38th floor. In the elevator, Liu Hua says, Mr. Kang, most of the staff in our research division hold doctoral degrees. The minimum is a master's from a top university. You'd be the first undergraduate. Learning from senior colleagues here would do you a great deal of good in the future. This is a special arrangement from our boss. Of course you don't need to be overly grateful. Think of it as the boss rewarding you for keeping the old madam happy. I twitch slightly. Actually, it really isn't necessary. Also, the boss would prefer to keep your relationship with her private, to avoid complications when the divorce happens. I look at him. That happens to suit me as well. Liu Hua is thrown. This man is actually the one expressing reluctance? He's about to say more, but the elevator arrives. My first day at work. I find it genuinely interesting. Nobody assigns me anything to do, which suits me fine. I spend a while in the private office playing with a puppy. After a while, the puppy curls up in a sunny corner and falls asleep. I get up quietly, close the office door, and head for the research division's archive. Only if the Alzheimer's treatment is developed and Grandma Soo improves will she be able to remember what happened. And then I'll finally understand how this inexplicable marriage with Soo Chingwol came about. I find a colleague and ask for directions to the archive. Then I head straight there. Soo Group's archive is on the 60th floor. It turns out to be an enormous private library, accessible only to company employees. The materials here cover industry knowledge that simply cannot be found anywhere outside. I feel a quiet excitement. My instincts say what I'm looking for is in here. On the top floor, Soo Chingwol is working through a backlog of documents. Her phone chimes. A message from a contact named Prosperity in Full Bloom, which is Grandma Soo, granddaughter, have lunch with your husband today. And take a photo of you two together at the table. I want to see it. Soo Chingwol frowns and is about to invent a meeting as an excuse, when the name in the chat window changes before her eyes. From Prosperity in Full Bloom to Fragile Grandmother Who Cannot Be Upset. Soo Chingwol goes quiet. She stares at the new name for a long time. Then she lets out a helpless sigh and presses the call button on her desk. Liu Hua appears promptly. Boss, what do you need? Arrange 2 lunches to be sent up. Then Soo Chingwol messages me asking me to come to the top floor for lunch. But the food is set out on the side table, and I still haven't responded. Soo Chingwol stands up. Where is he? Liu Hua says, Mr. Kang, he's in the archive. Soo Chingwol goes to the 60th floor. She quickly spots me and also Su Feishui, who is staring at me. I'm absorbed in looking through the books, completely missing my phone vibrating. This archive holds the most advanced technical materials available today. I could lose myself here entirely. I step back and bump into someone. Su Feishui is staring at me with a complicated expression. Kang Nanjoo, don't tell me all the effort you put into winning over my great-grandmother was really about getting close to my aunt. My expression goes flat immediately. Nothing to do with you. Su Feishui continues anyway. My aunt has kept her distance from men her entire life. Don't imagine that face of yours will get you anywhere with her. She's not that shallow. And right now she's just given you some throwaway position to get you out of the way. I give a short, humorless laugh. So when you chased me for all those years, that was because you were the shallow one? I look at her. She was the only real friend I had in university. I did genuinely consider her. When she said she had a surprise for me at the graduation ceremony, I had actually been thinking about whether to accept her. I sigh. Su Feishui, can't we just part on decent terms? Su Feishui's eyes go red immediately. No. I know you hate me for choosing Kang Boda, but I had no choice. Marriages between powerful families involve so many considerations. I did try for you. Even my mother had agreed I could be with someone ordinary. But your background made me pull back. I could never marry someone illegitimate, no matter what. How would I hold my place in the Soo family? I'd become a laughingstock in all of Haicheng. I look at her. When I was a child, questions of background used to make me feel I could never hold my head up. But when I left the Kang house, I understood. Self-respect is everything. I look away. Thank you for the favor of not marrying me. I turn to go. Su Feishui blocks me again. I can arrange for you to work in my team. I'll find someone senior to mentor you. I know how capable you are. You're so sharp you'd pick things up fast. You'd never have to do odd jobs again. I cut through the rambling. What's the condition? Get divorced. Come with me. Soo Feishu cannot tolerate the idea of another woman sharing me with her. The very thought drives her close to the edge. I respond coldly, you don't deserve that. Why do you love that nobody wife of yours so much? You think I couldn't pay her off or have someone scare her into leaving you? How could she possibly compare to me? I slap her without hesitation. After doing it, I still feel unsatisfied. I look at Soo Feishu with cold detachment. I didn't intend to be cruel. But since you insist on pushing for an answer, my wife is more beautiful than you, and her figure is better too. I turn to leave, and there at the corner ahead is Soo Chingwol. I go still. So does she. Soo Feishu's eyes go dark. Her fists clench. She thinks, one day he will come to me in tears. She takes a long breath. When the pain in her face fades a little, she calls Kang Boda. Tomorrow afternoon you have that lunch with Dr. Nan. Take me along. Meanwhile, Soo Chingwol uses lunch as a pretext to bring me up to the top floor. Inside her office, she points to the side table. You start. I feel a little guilty. She doesn't seem to have heard what I said based on how she's acting. While I'm thinking, I hear the sound of a photo being taken. Soo Chingwol takes the photo calmly and sends it to grandmother. Then she comes over and sits down to eat. I understand why she took the photo and don't ask. I look at the table and make conversation, quite a spread. She sits across from me. She picks up her chopsticks with unhurried elegance. Good nutrition is essential for maintaining one's figure. I freeze. My face feels warm. My gaze drifts briefly over the pale skin visible at her collar. Then I pack up one of the portions to go. I just remembered the puppy hasn't been fed. I'll head out. I pick up the packed meal. Thanks for lunch. The afternoon comes quickly. I pick up the dog and leave the top floor. After finishing her work for the day, Soo Chingwol stands to leave. Lu Hua asks, Boss, which home? Soo Chingwol pauses. She just realized she hasn't asked where grandmother is. She calls Grandma Sue. Whose home are you at? The answer is unexpected. I'm at the hospital. Soo Chingwol frowns. Didn't the doctor say you were cleared to leave? But this afternoon my chest started hurting again, so I'd like to stay a few more days. Are you coming to sit with me tonight? You don't have to. I'm just a frail old woman with no one to look after her. Leave me here alone in my misery. Waking up at midnight wanting a sip of water with no one there. Oh, it's so hard. I'm coming now. That's better. And I've already told your husband. He's coming to stay with me too. Come together. She hangs up and presses her fingers to her temple. She understands her grandmother's scheming perfectly. Whether she goes back to the Soo estate or goes to my apartment, she and I will be separate at night, but if both of them keep vigil at the hospital, we'll inevitably spend more time together. But she knows I was with someone. Soo Chingwol presses her lips together. She wants to maintain distance. But then she thinks of grandmother's health, and she swallows her reluctance. She messages me, I'll pick you up after work and take you to the hospital. This time I respond quickly, no need. I'm already in a taxi on the way. Soo Chingwol thinks he knows how to maintain propriety. He hasn't taken advantage of grandmother's favoritism to push his way in. She should feel relieved. Somehow the unease in her chest only grows a little. I haven't been thinking much about any of this. I simply don't want too much entanglement with Soo Chingwol until I understand the truth behind this marriage. This inexplicable marriage was almost certainly caused by something on her side. After all, someone as small and unremarkable as me, who would be paying attention? I carry the dog into the hospital ward building and head toward the very important person rooms. Not far away, Mrs. Kang Nanjoo has just finished a follow-up appointment. Kang Boda has her by the arm. Mrs. Kang says hesitantly, Isn't that Nanjoo? What is he doing at the hospital? Is he unwell? A flash of irritation moves through Kang Boda. The news of Grandma Sue's hospitalization couldn't be kept from the Soo family, but the old woman is stubborn and refused all visitors. He went to the ward today and was turned away at the door without even catching a glimpse of her. So Kang Nanjoo must be here to be with her. His eyes shift. Probably visiting Grandma Sue. Nanjoo really is devoted. The longtime caretaker, Aunt Nan, who has come along, says with displeasure, devoted? I've never once seen him come to visit our madam. Aunt Nan is in her mid-50s, about 10 years older than Nanjing Soo. She has been Mrs. Kang's personal caretaker her whole life, never married. Mrs. Kang treats her like an elder sister, so Aunt Nan holds a high place in the Kang household. Even Kang Boda treats her with considerable respect. At Aunt Nan's words, a shadow passes across Mrs. Kang's face. Back then in the Kang house, Nanjoo had such a hard life. Aunt Nan immediately says, Madam, you're still defending him? I can't stand Li Ruyan's behavior either, but she has one thing right, young Master Nanjoo has no gratitude in him. You think about him all the time, worry about him, and he's probably long forgotten you exist. Kang Boda says, I hear Miss Sue arranged a position for him at Soo Group. That's probably why he's being attentive to Grandma Sue. Aunt Nan scoffs. Madam, you even raised him. When Li Ruyan neglected him as an infant, it was you who fed him. It was you who sent him to school. The debt of being raised is the greatest of all, and there's no sign of him repaying you. Mrs. Kang says immediately, That's enough, please stop. Kang Boda says, Mom acted out of kindness, she never expected anything in return back then. But some people do repay every small kindness in full, like Dr. Nan. Mom only gave him a little money for school, and look at how much he's done for our family over the years. 3 years ago when the company was nearly bankrupt, Dr. Nan gave us a technical patent that turned everything around. Aunt Nan nods immediately. Put it that way, Dr. Nan is so much better than Kang Nanjoo. Kang Boda affects curiosity. I've always wanted to know what Dr. Nan is actually like. Mom, take me with you tomorrow. Mrs. Kang smiles and ruffles his hair. All right, I'll take you. They chat as they make their way downstairs to the car park. This whole scene happens to be visible from where I'm sitting on the sofa in the very important person ward nearby. My eyes follow Mrs. Kang. Her complexion is an unhealthy white. Her figure is very thin. Kang Boda is talking beside her. Mrs. Kang nods with a resigned smile. The two of them move with a comfortable closeness. I watch until the car is gone, reluctant to look away. I turn around and find Grandma Soo